Welcome to the Port Charles Update with your hosts, Mish and Mel.
Hello.
We're back.
Hell, you stole my line.
Sorry. It's like the one line you have on podcast. I'm so sorry. You can say it if you want. I'll pretend I didn't say it.
We're back, guys.
Yes. You're right. We are. Thank you for bringing that up.
So happy to help. I love being a part of the team.
Okay, guys. Let's talk about one of the biggest team players on the show, Willow. I mean, I don't know what team player is without being like that. It's interesting to watch her. What did you think about her run-in with Jacinda? Like the full run-in was last week, but it continued a little bit.
Honestly, I'm loving the craziness. Like, I love how jealous she is. I love that she's trying to prove a point when she has none. Like, she's
Oh,
really
yes. Thank you for
right.
saying that. Thank you for acknowledging
Right?
that.
For a
Yes.
long time, we wanted her to, like, lean into who she really is. And she's
Yeah.
just, like, she's given us what we want. It's slower paced than I would like, but she is
Yeah.
definitely giving us what we want.
No, you said it yourself. You're like, I need her to go full Nell. I don't know what more you need. She shot a man twice in the back, drugged him. But she's doing it. I think she's fulfilling all of your wishes. Well.
Yes.
But like that fight with Jacinda, I will say that it was satisfying because Jacinda was definitely, I feel like the audience, or at least us in those scenes,
Yes.
really like giving it to her. And what's hilarious, like you pointed out, trying to have a point she doesn't have, like trying to parallel and make Drew and Jacinda different. And this is exactly, I think, a perfect example that she's still not thinking about the kids. Like at all, because Drew actually harmed her kids.
Yes.
Drew would never look at a homework. He would be like,
No.
why is he speaking to me? Like, I don't
Like,
understand.
where's the nanny? What happened?
Where? And she's like, don't support my child.
No, how dare
Do
you?
not just prioritize him rather than
No.
only focus on my ex-husband.
Hell no.
Okay? How dare you?
How dare you support him enough that he got an A?
I don't like that. If you
Hate
think
it.
you're a good person because you supported my son, you've got another thing coming because you were a sex worker.
You want my mind again.
And like she kept kind of comparing Drew and Jacinda, and saying it's the same. And I'm like, and everyone in the room knows it's not. Even her deep down.
You got it right though. She's deep dumb.
Deep down, she also knows it's not true. But this is not about her kids; it's about power, and that they made
100%.
obvious. Remember when she was at Elizabeth right before the gun was found, and Michael and her were having a talk?
Yes.
So when they were having that conversation, he's like, "Do you want supervised visitation?" And she was like, "Ew, I miss my kids, but this is gross, and you have all this power." And she kept talking about power, and that's her fixation. Her fixation is power. That like, once I get it, then you'll see. And it's like, that's the thing with her. It's like power is not just a formal thing you have, you know, in the way that she sees Michael and the way that she saw Drew. And for some reason, unable to see that Nina also had.
I know.
The
Because
exact.
she's a woman. She's a woman.
Yeah. Even Willow couldn't see her. She's like, I don't. What power? I don't think so. And for her, the only thing that counts is formal influence. And the thing that's so sad about her, and I don't know if I even want it to be fixed, but other people, like a Michael, for instance, I cannot say this for Drew, nor can I say this about Nina like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But other people just have like an inner power, like an informal influence that has nothing to
Yes.
do with being in a powerful position or even
Like a
having
Jordan.
status. Yeah, well, she lost her. She made it clear.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
pre.
yeah, pre-Jordan,
Yeah.
pre-car accident.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so that's what I'm finding really interesting for Willow is her not understanding that. So she has it out with Jacinda, and then Michael shows up and continues to have this argument. But this is where Jacinda starts to tell him about the whole Brennan thing.
Yes.
So what I can't understand is how is it that you're having this conversation and not once Michael is going, maybe we leave a child out of this. That's a thought I'm having.
Right?
Yeah. Like, as a dad and a human, I was thinking we leave Charlotte just out of this. And how does it not come up that this man who has information that could damage Willow and serve Michael is the same man dating his mom? Like, that just has not come up.
I know, it's like he needs a little Google of, like, the actual familial ties as sometimes we do to realize how close they are,
You
but
mean Michael? Michael's like, I
Michael,
haven't spoken to my mom. Like, actually,
forever.
who's Brennan? I don't I don't think I was listening when she was talking. Like, the fact that he's not making that pretty significant connection.
Right?
I don't think they've ever shown Michael and Carly talk about Brennan or him being around them at all.
That's so true. Does he even know they're dating?
I d Based on these scenes, I'm thinking no. I think he thinks Jack Brennan is a WSB agent and his sister is just his sister.
This is hilarious. It's the first time that Michael gets to, like, live in a somewhat beautiful
That's
bubble
true.
with somebody he cares about, and he's focusing on his family, and he might not have directly said, "Don't involve Charlotte," but he very much tried to redirect Jacinda through love and the fact that she doesn't need to do anything.
You're right, he did say that, but Jacinda was pretty blatant about the fact that she's, like, not listening, not gonna do it. Like, that also is very, very
Mm.
present. But it's cute how you say that, like, he's wrapped up in his little, like, bubble where he doesn't know. It's like his bubble is
Yeah.
his psychotic ex-wife just trying to take his kids, framing him for murder. I love this bubble
I
for
mean,
Michael.
he has a lot less on his plate than
Yes,
before,
than
it's just, like,
usual.
really different. Yes.
Okay, so she has this whole power trip. That was the first of it, right? She
Yes.
chased Jacinda down. That was, like, her first bout of power. Like, wait a second. I'm a congresswoman, so I can actually stalk you and tell you to your face I don't like you. And I love
Exactly.
it for her. She was really excited and she followed through. And then she went home to complain to her mom. Okay, so there's that, right? While Willow is doing her thing, Nina's having a conversation with Rick, and honestly, I don't think that was the conversation I thought she was going to have.
What did you think she was gonna say?
I don't know, but, like, she was meeting with Rick. I mean, I did know then, I just don't know now. It's like
Fair, fair.
but when she was meeting him, I don't know, I thought she was gonna be, like, talking to Rick about how to, like, make the current situation stop or,
Right.
something about doing the right thing, or I just didn't think it was gonna be, "Hey, could you prepare a defense, potentially other crimes, and let's just ride this out together."
So, okay, I honestly thought she was gonna create, like, a hypothetical situation of, like, because she's now involved in the crime. Willow
Mm,
has her fingerprints. I thought more she was gonna
that's
talk
it.
about, like, because I'm, like, being blackmailed and she tricked me into getting evidence, like, what would happen to me moving forward.
Well, they're showing that she's selfless, right? But yes,
I
that was
know.
it. I thought she was gonna like, be more informed about her situation, and her
Yes.
situation does include being blackmailed, which was like, wow. And then, like, because she's
Bonkers.
a mom, right? And she, like,
Yeah.
loves her. And Willow said, "Look, the moment I felt that you were gonna care about a 15-year-old over me, I just felt the need to blackmail you for a crime." And then she's like, "I don't wanna have to do it." And then she's crying in front of her. And Nina's like, "I would help you whether or not you
I it's
blackmail."
like
What answer is there to say at that point when they're crying, telling you, "I'm gonna do this horrible thing to you"?
it was so amazing, though, honestly. It's like Willow's distorted view of the people around her, who she can trust, what love is, how you get people to stick around you. Her dawn of day has been brought up a couple of times. I think it was this week, maybe a little bit
Yes.
last week. So all of this kind of coming
Yes.
into play, like, I'm loving the unraveling. I'm loving how, Nina is being very selfless and is providing unconditional love and is really seeing how damaged her daughter really is.
Okay, but I don't want her to be. Like, that's like so when I'm watching
You
this,
don't want forgivable damage is what you're saying.
kind of, like, I think like, I can't believe I'm saying this,
Okay.
but I think Nina should think a little bit more about herself.
Oh, I'm loving this. Okay, yeah. No, I gotta agree, though.
Because we had that talk about this possibility and like a depth that could be between Nina and Curtis. And so there is a part of me that when I was watching Nina and Rick, and when I think about this storyline, it's like, you know what? Kudos. Willow, this evil transformation, her sorting her stuff out, loving it. But I think there's a part of me that's like, okay, but can we also have Nina have a journey? Like, does it have to all be about Willow? Because for Nina, I mean, yes, she wants to save her. And yes, I think she's holding her own with Willow a little bit more. Like, she tried to have boundaries, but now she can't because she's being blackmailed.
Yes.
And I know she wants to protect her daughter. I just don't think confessing everything to Drew, being like, I know what she's doing to you, and I'm not stopping it. Like, what?
That's so
I
weird.
was like, he may not be in this state permanently. Like, why? Like,
Exactly.
why give him, like, your daughter has leverage over you. Why are you going to give Drew leverage over you? Also, like, this is crazy to me. So I think, like, for Nina, I guess the journey is more like her and Willow. So this is what I was thinking. When Willow came back and she started ranting, because Nina was thinking, no, no, no. She's not gonna start a whole thing with Michael because that's what Rick was warning her about. But then when
Yes.
she showed up, she's having to deal with the fact that, like, okay, I have to rein her in. Like, I have to rein her in.
Yes.
And to be honest, it was so impressive, like, watching Nina in that role. So
Yes.
so she listens to her kinda complain, and that
Mhm.
was fascinating when Willow brought up Dawn of Day, and I was like, "Okay, I see what you did there. You're using her trauma as the reason she feels the
Mhm.
way she does about Jacinda."
Yes.
I think it's flimsy, but
It
it's
is.
but it also is insightful to kinda know where her head is at and what connection she's making. So and it works out for Dina because she's trying to bring up her past. She's talking to Rick, she's like, "You know her past, right? She really messed up. Let's use this." And then it's helpful when Willow's like, also bringing up her messed up past. But then when she starts talking about going after Michael, and when Nina freaked out and was like, "You can't. Like, you
Mhm.
can't." And when she pointed out that people do know, and if you push them to this degree, they might say something.
Yes.
So she thought that she pulled Willow off a ledge, right? And when she's pulling her off a ledge, Nina's thinking, okay, I'm saving her just a little. Like, I'm pulling her back from evil just a little. But all you
Mhm.
did was just shoot her in a different direction. So I guess when I saw those moments, I kept thinking a way to make this a little bit more about Nina and having more of a Nina journey would
Okay.
be that if we got to see Nina spend more time with Wiley and the kids. And we've talked about this a lot, this
Yes.
idea where Nina aligns with maybe Michael.
Mhm.
So like, and we haven't gotten to see Grandma Nina in a while. Like, that was a huge
No.
thing. Can I be with the kids? Because it was Nell's kid, right? This was before all the information about Willow came out. So I
Exactly.
guess I kind of wish we were getting more Nina and the grandkids. And then Nina kind of being able to prioritize them because that's what a grandmother would do. Like, when your kid's going off the rails, you're
Mhm.
concerned about her kids and you want to make sure the kids are getting a sense of stability. And I think that is Nina in this context. And
100%.
so I thought that that would be the only way, because the only way out of this is tough love, right? The only way out of this is no longer colluding with Willow. There's only so
Mhm.
much that you can protect someone from themselves. So I just felt it would have been really interesting if we're watching more scenes with Nina and the kids, her increased empathy for the kids,
Mhm.
seeing how Willow is being so different and being sort of pulled between the two, where she's forced to put the kids first, right? Kind of creating a distance between her and Willow.
I love that a lot. I think it would be really it's time for Nina to shine. Like, let Willow do her thing, but I would love to see a journey like that for
Well,
Nina.
just character-wise, Willow's really getting it, right? She's
Mhm.
been in this storyline, and especially her turning this way and her making an attempt at using power
Mhm.
is interesting. And I just feel like, okay, so we have the Willow portion, but can we make a little bit like, can we focus a little bit on Nina's journey? And I say this because we talked about, like, when we talked about the possibility of her and Curtis, it led to a conversation about, the depth of these characters and that it would give them a chance to really take a deep dive and really, evolve. And so I guess
Yes.
I wanted to kind of see that. I wanted to be a little bit more about Nina and a little less about Willow, or maybe both. But then there's Elizabeth in all of this. I love this girl's
So
enthusiasm.
cute.
I love I love what she brings to the table. Like Willow is seen as a saint, but Elizabeth is a real healer. Like she is pretty
Yeah.
much the definition of nurse. I know this is a fictional show, but she's nurse.
Yes. True through and through.
Yeah, so she's trying to understand him. She's excited. She sees that Nina isn't, but she doesn't
Yes.
care. She's like, "I'm so happy you're here, Kai." And then I loved how they had that scene where she shares this with Kai. She talks about he could have devices, that he should have devices to communicate. And then Elizabeth says something, Nina's having a reaction, and then Kai and Drew share a known look. And I really wish that they gave more attention to that shared glance between Drew
Yes.
and Kai, because they did individual shot, like, of just Kai then Drew, and we know that
Mhm.
they were looking at each other, but I wanted to see that. Like, that's the thing. Like, Kai, like,
Right?
and you don't even know half of it.
Oh my gosh, exactly.
I thought that was hilarious, and also watching Nina freak out because she's like, "Oops, I confessed a bunch of things." Like, I made it worse for myself, which is essentially, like, her thing.
Yes, it's totally her thing, but this is the funny part, like, did Willow think nobody would visit? That what she would say
Yeah.
to Drew would stick? It's just it's almost like a rom-com kinda situation.
I feel like, they divulged their plan, right? Which was, if we have leverage on him, then that's our free pass. He can't touch us.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, if Willow goes down for a crime, like, that's it. She can't blackmail her mom. She can't really do anything, right? There's so many people who know about what she's done.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, too. So Willow is with Kai. I wasn't sure what to think about their interaction, like if she was gonna try to pressure him, but she kept it
Yes.
normal. And he was there to give waters to her and to Jack Brennan.
What did you think of that interaction?
Well, it was her playing grown woman. And that
Yes!
and that's what I mean. Like, yes, she's a congresswoman, and that does come with power, but that's where the joke is for me, is that you don't have any inner power. Like, that's why it looks pretend. And also this logistics corner. Remember that Brennan works for the World Bureau
Yup.
of Investigation. So you tell me why Willow, this one congresswoman, controls the budget for the world.
And I'm like, "Does she mean the office he's in? Like, she can make sure they can't rent that building?" Like
I was just, like, laughing, and I'm like, "Brennan, first of all, your job's made up." Because
Right?
we don't have random satellite WSB. The WSB has specific headquarters, and someone manufactured this satellite job just to commit crime in the area, because that's
Exactly.
why that happened. Cullum put him there, and then Cullum is committing crime. I actually don't know the connection between all that, because none of that's ever been clear. As we saw today between Joss and Valentin, he's like, he threw things. He's like, "I don't get it." And it's like, neither do we.
Exactly, thank you.
Neither do we.
I
So
I love I love when you're talking about Willow and just she doesn't have that inner confidence, so every time she says, "Congresswoman Kane," it's like her saying, "I'm a grown up. I'm a
yeah.
grown up. I'm a grown up."
Yeah, and you have to do what I say.
Exactly.
In the past, I did what other people wanted, but now it's my turn,
Yup.
right? This is
Totally.
I'm the main character in my life. Got it? You're supporting cast, like, you better do what I want. And so the fact is, like, Brennan sucks. Like, Brennan sucks
Yeah,
hard. Like, the fact that he's willing
totally.
to diminish himself just because he's, like, afraid of losing Carly.
I know.
It's like, you're a spy. You're gonna trash your entire career? And does Willow really think she can pull one over a WSB agent. She literally handed him leverage. He's like, explain to me why you want leverage on a man who can't move or can't talk and has like a terrible prognosis and will stay like this permanently.
Right?
You literally just gave him something to look into that obviously you don't think that this state is permanent and that maybe he got to that state accidentally.
She's only at Criming 101. She didn't read, like, the second novel, so she doesn't know
No,
what to do.
no, like this is ridiculous to think that he's going to be like, oh, you win. And he's not going to try to get leverage on you in any way. Like, I don't think there's much to get on Nina, but I think she handed over a bunch.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Anyways, but Michael has a plan. Like he told Jacinda, he's playing the long game.
Like Sunny.
Yeah. So long, we don't know when it's going to end. But all I have to say, if you're going to play a long game that doesn't include Spinelli, then it's no game plan at all.
I agree.
Okay. But you mentioned Sunny.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about Ethan first and Ethan and Christina.
So the minute I saw Ethan,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to scream to you through the
Yeah.
universe, "He deplaned!
He
He
deplaned.
deplaned! He's
D-
here. He has arrived."
yeah. And I love that he was spent time with Robert, who I think is his real dad, and Sasha.
Yes.
That was adorable because that's his sister.
I think so.
Yep.
Okay.
It's his sister. But him, like a Christina Ethan reunion. Were you watching back
Yes.
then? Like, was that significant for you?
I mean, I was watching. I can't say I remember the Kiefer situation. I remember which Christina it was. There's bits and pieces of the story that made a lot of sense to me, but if you would just ask me like cold, I would never know.
Well, it was a big deal for me because, like, I remember that and I remember how much she wanted him. Like, I remember how much she was persistent. And, like, so I thought it was really interesting that they brought it up,
Yes.
you know? So that was, so they're seeing each other for the first time in years. They basically touched on every aspect of their past dynamic
Right?
and they made an agreement. We're going to be friends because I'm in love with my brother's girlfriend.
Exactly. I'm like, "Oh my word." So we're really still pursuing this storyline.
Yeah, like they made it really clear that they're friends and they did give off friend vibes. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And it's like it could have been done any other way, right? Because that's what was so crazy. She really pursued him and he did say, like, he would say things like, if you were older, like, if you were older. And she is older. So there was a part of me that thought that would be really cool, but it's not the
Yeah.
vibe. Like they're way more chill. They're friends. And I think even just having a close relationship as friends would be really cool and satisfying for me.
Yeah, she needs to have a good friend on her side.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to see him at Charlie's eventually, maybe him working with
exactly.
her as opposed to with Sunny and having that lovely relationship. He can live in the apartment upstairs. I don't know if they want to sleep in that bed, but he can have the apartment upstairs.
No, he wants to live with Lulu.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he wants to live with Lulu. But when Christina's telling him, like, oh, Jason's gone, it's a good thing you're here. I'm like, no.
No, really not.
Ethan is a con man. He's not a hitman. He's not a serious criminal, right? Being a con man is like you're out for yourself, you're tricking people, that's it.
Yeah.
But it's a far cry from being a hitman.
She really doesn't know the inner workings of her dad's business and what exactly
No,
Jason does. That's what made me giggle. It's like she thinks she knows, but she has no idea.
but I want her to know. That's what sucks. And I'm like, when are
Mhm.
you going to know? Cuz I want you to know. Cuz I want you to do this. Like you already have like a bar. That's the first step to becoming a criminal.
That's so true.
But one thing she said was when she called Ethan most like Luke, and I was like, please say it louder for Lulu to hear. Please, please. I am sorry, but when Lulu was with Jocelyn and she uttered this line,
Oh, I'm scared, yeah.
I lost it.
Tell me.
Lost it. This girl said to Jocelyn about Brit that Brit is so desperate for her daddy's approval.
That's true. I was like, "What is happening right now?"
I literally feel like GH is messing with me because I
Right?
have been obsessed with that fact about Lulu for years. I cannot get over it because General Hospital traumatized me with
Oh,
how
yes.
weird Lulu was being when she was like, I have to infiltrate a brothel for my dad. If I don't infiltrate a brothel, I won't find my dad looking for a kind of woman who works there using the services. He might be in trouble. He might be using the services, but not okay.
So, you know how my memory is, and I don't remember a lot, but I as well have been traumatized by those scenes that live in my mind.
So just to hear, like, this girl has been just so desperate to thrive off the Luke name, his reputation, and honestly, like, Ethan could do that. Obviously, Lucky can too, but like Ethan, Lulu has never been able to, and everyone pats her on the back and is like, "You're a Spencer," and she believes them, and she walks around sounding ridiculous.
She does. She always sounds ridiculous, but this time was worse.
It was worse, and I have to share this. It's a very simple comment, like, you know what I mean? But it's just so true, so hard. Okay?
Yes.
So Trey 611 says this. Like, this is about Rocco and Britt, okay? The Rocco and Britt scene. They are great together. Lulu is so awkward around her kids. That's all, but it really made me think, and I'm like, yep, that sums it up. That's exactly what it is. That is so true. Like, watching Rocco with Britt versus watching Lulu with any of her children, it's actually so awkward.
So, it's like Lulu is playing parent, like Willow is playing a grown-up.
And, like, Cassius is playing Nathan.
Ba-dum-tsh.
And, Jocelyn is playing secret agent, and I'm your
Oh, I
cousin.
cannot.
So, like,
Mhm.
that was just a weird combo because 'cause I'm like, there was a time I liked Jocelyn, and now I have to watch a scene with Lulu and Jocelyn.
How
So,
did you
like,
feel?
I didn't know what to make of this, and, like, immediately she's like, "What's wrong? What's on your mind? You can tell me." And I know that that's Lulu just desperate to be a part of her own family, which she has the option to do, but she's like, "I think my best friend's husband will suffice." So, so I'm gonna do that instead. So they have a conversation, but it's just so obvious that Lulu is just trying so hard, right? I felt like there were parts where Jocelyn wasn't really fully agreeing hard or disagreeing hard, but really reflecting
Yes.
onto Lulu and basically making what Lulu was saying sound crazy. And so I think this is kind of insane that she's like, oh, Brit is just too much. She feels entitled to Rocco. She's pursuing a relationship with him. And then Jocelyn's like, oh, she's the one pursuing a relationship with Rocco? No, Rocco is actually. And I'm like, that is crazy that you'll only tell the truth after a lie, after a follow-up question. Like, no one asked if you lied, but just like a
Right?
follow-up. And you're like, no, I totally lied. How do you have a conversation with someone like that? And then she makes reference to Jason. She's like, she's just always looking for trouble. I'm like, you think Brit
Yes.
was looking to be brought back from the dead after saving Jocelyn's life.
Right?
Okay, and you don't look for trouble? And Rocco doesn't look for trouble? Like, just this idea that Brit is in a special category, unlike anyone else in their orbit.
It's bonkers to me, which it makes me just see that Lulu and Cassius should actually be together because they're both very
100%.
delusional.
100%. They are legitimately perfect for one another. And so they
Right?
have this whole conversation and she's trying to talk about Brit being a mess. She's like, just ask Jason. Look at what happened to him. And I'm like, okay,
You
stop referring to Jason like he's yours to reference. Ew, I
right?
don't like it. And then she tried to like validate her own self by being like, by the way, Carly would agree with me, just so you know. No one else is here to agree with me, but I have references.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, Jocelyn eventually conceded on points, and she did sort of agree that Britt was, like, bad. But then she started talking about Nathan, and so they sort of showed us that Jocelyn is on to Nathan,
Yes.
right? But something else, though. So she didn't just it's not just that she's on to Nathan, but she was, asking, like, oh, yeah, the line was this: "It's a miracle Nathan could pick up his past life so smoothly." It's an interesting observation, but also a really funny insult, being like, "Unlike
Right.
you." It was pretty sloppy, eh? Just pretty sloppy. So I love that line, but there were other things that she brought up about Nathan that was a lot to do with dynamics as opposed to, I mean, maybe related, but in terms of, that he may not be who he appears to be. But she asked,
Uh-huh.
like, what's it like for Nathan because you don't like Brit? Like, what's that? What
That's
is
a
that
great
like?
question.
And so it's the answer that Lulu gave that should be a clue, but it's obviously not going to be a clue. Lulu said, well, neither Nathan or Brit show interest in hanging out. It's not just that, Lulu. It's the fact that Nathan and Brit had a good relationship.
They did.
And it's also about who Nathan was, like, he was really actively there for Nina through a lot of things that she's done, and he's been a really good brother. He's always the rock, and he had a similar thing with Brit as well. And
Mhm.
so the fact that they keep trying to do this thing where it's like, oh, they weren't that close before, or they had just started their relationship. The point is, regardless of how fresh their relationship was, Nathan would never speak poorly of his sister.
Exactly.
And that is delusional to think when she's like, oh, he would, like, she just loves the fact that he would pick her over Brit.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
that should be the clue that this just isn't Nathan. Also, the fact that he's with you, period, should be a red
Thank
flag
you.
that this isn't
Okay.
Nathan.
I was like, do you remember the biggest one that he did not pick Maxie or even give one moment of time to
Hmm.
thinking about all of their years and love together?
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. I cannot wait for her to find out. It's gonna be so good.
So funny. I can't I They better make it so good. Like, I
Juicy.
wanna laugh. I want no mercy, right? I want her to crumble. I want her to have, like, I want her to circle back to Maxie.
I
Like,
do.
I want that to be a thing.
Here's the thing, with Geo and all of that, we didn't get the explosive,
No.
um, ending that we wanted when it came to her and her role that she played in everything, and then Maxie went into a coma and things got, it was it just we didn't get it, right? And like you, I'm just waiting for this juicy moment, the explosion, the self-reflection, the
Yeah.
apology, like, just something more than what she is now.
Yeah, because even Laura, there's only so much she can say to Lulu. Like, even when she's with her mom, it's like Laura's trying to confide in her, talk to her, and she's ready to make that into a story. And there
Right?
there are times when that aspect of her are more prominent, but it's just so gross because it's like all these people she cares about. She's ready to twist things and make it into a story. And it's more salacious than anything. It's not like she's doing pieces that are really like meaningful and helpful to people. She just uses
Exactly.
the truth to basically be like, I'm gonna take this piece of gossip and really like twist the knife in someone else's life. But when she does anything, no. It's kind of like she's telling her mom, like, I know you're really compassionate. I've received all that compassion, but only I should get that compassion. Like, you shouldn't give it to Ezra. And she wouldn't hear her mom. Like, she couldn't read the room.
No, she could
That
not.
her mom wasn't comfortable, that Ezra might be a type of way, but that's not who her mother is. And she wasn't catching the tone. She was more like, "Mom, you're being nuanced. I'm black and white. We hate him. You should hate him. You hate him, right?" And then when he walks over, this girl is just on a whole show and tell rant. She's like, look what I know. I know all of this, but I'm not going to use it. But I needed you to know that I knew it. It's like, why couldn't you have just sat there silently? Like, who asked you? But she had to make a show that she knew things also. And she had to let everyone know, this is what I'm going to do with it. I listened to my mama this time.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
I can't with her, and it was even funnier because they did the Lulu Laura conversation parallel to the Brit and Cassius
Yes, so
conversation.
good.
It was so good, and even when Cassius was like, "Rocco has his mother for that," and I'm like, "But Rocco has had Lulu. Clearly, it wasn't enough for him."
100%.
And I don't
Ugh,
know, he seems really committed to being Nathan. Like, not only, I mean,
I
look, he
know.
admitted that he's in love with Lulu, but then he has his scenes with Dante, and he's like, Dante, are you sure? Because I realize we're best friends.
I read my script, and they told me because I wasn't sure how to emphasize the fact that, "Okay, we are besties. Okay, I'm in the role. I'm in the role."
And then he's like, "I'm beginning to think I may have betrayed you. Do you concur?" I was like, "What on earth is this conversation?"
Bonkers.
But do you know what was funny that hit me in the moment that
Tell
I
me.
thought was hilarious? I'm like, "Wait a second. This guy is not only pretending to be Nathan, he's also pretending to know how to be a detective." Like
100%. That's what he said to Jens, like, 2 weeks ago. He's like,
yes!
"I'm finding my way."
Exactly. So that happened last week, and now when I was watching him with Dante and, like, giving him these reports and his next lead, like, that information smacked me again, and now I don't think I can look at any scene the same way again, being like, he's literally never been trained as a detective.
No.
Never. And he's sort of doing a decent job, like, better than
Right?
most.
Which leans into all the jokes we have made over the years about the
Exactly.
PCPD. Loving it.
Exactly. And when I saw Cassius with Dante, honestly, Mel, I was starting to think to myself, maybe he is the sensitive twin.
Okay, so this is what I'm loving about Nathan because he's like medium bad. He doesn't understand the
Exactly.
depth of Cullum and Jens. Britt's trying to rein him in, but he's also like now in love. He wants to have adopt a teenage children. He wants to make his way in the world and really dig his heels into being Nathan. So he's just like he is a very confused guy.
I know. He like wants to adopt Lulu's kid. And he's like, I guess I'll take James along for the ride.
He's like, oh yeah, that kid.
I mean, I love Brit's logic, right? Like, no, you started it. Like you started it.
Exactly.
You're his dad now forever. But Lulu,
Forever.
you got to dump that. We gotta she'll recover or she won't. She's mostly an
Exactly.
adult. I loved all of it. But again, let's remember Cassius and Britt were talking about the fact that Rocco confided in her.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to give an early star to Brit
Mhm.
in general, much less that scene. I know we're gonna dig into it, but my heart just like it was so freaking incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, the pillow for Cullum, again, it like the way she explained it to Cassius, I'm like, "No, Cassius, like, it was so important that Britt got him out of the room." Like,
So important.
Rocco honestly was, like, 2 minutes away from removing his glove and being like, "Look! Look, it's a firearm injury!" Like, I just like, and I was scared. I'm like, "Maybe you should wear 2 gloves." Like, maybe I
Honestly,
don't
honestly, I looked immediately at his hands because I know Cullum and Brennan. They're like looking at everything from head to toe. I'm like, 2 gloves. It's not that hard. It's a hospital.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't want only one side of my pillow to be okay.
Oh la la.
I want both sides to be okay. And so, just him in that room, he was really spooked, and he's asking, he's like, "Tell me about your gunshots. How does your back
Tell
feel?
me everything.
How are you doing?" But and then
I want
and
to know
then
how my victims recover.
and then, like, Britt rescues him. Again, Cassius being like, "Well, now Colin knows how important Rocco is." No, Cassius. Colin has always known. He's already
Exactly.
used Rocco as leverage. This isn't new information to him. But then she grabs him and is like, "Okay, let's go talk somewhere private. The
But
public
I love that
chapel."
okay, from the beginning, though, from the beginning when she said, "You're needed in peds," and he caught
Yeah,
on right away,
yeah.
I was like, these two have my
Bonding.
heart."
Bonding. So that's the thing. She takes me to the chapel, and this is what I felt. Logistics corner. So earlier in that episode, she was in Lucas's office,
Yes.
and I'm starting to think that there's one office, and they
Right?
right, for Portia, for Britt, and for Lucas, and the reason we had to
100%.
have that meeting in the chapel is because we used the set for Lucas's office. Otherwise, she would have
Exactly.
gone into her own office.
Totally.
So she goes to the chapel with him, and I'm just thinking she should have realized. I mean, look, she obviously learned everything, but I think it was obvious the moment Rocco's like, "Is it weird for you? It must be weird for you that Cullum shot." And I'm like, "Why? Why would it be weird that Cullum is shot? You're not supposed to know anything about Britt and Cullum. How?
Anything.
How would he know a damn thing about Britt and Cullum?"
Exactly.
And then it just got worse. He was like, "I saw you there." And she's like, "No, you didn't. Tell me what you saw. What did you hear?" And he's like, "I couldn't hear anything." But I loved his like funny observations. Like, I didn't really know you and Lucas were that close. And
I
it
thought
looked
that
like
was
you
so
were
cute.
I love that mention. It just made it feel more normal. And then
Yeah.
she was like, "I shot him before Cullum hit Jason with the baton." And when he said that line, I'm thinking, and he's not referencing a cheerleader. Like, it was just weird the way it came out. The whole baton thing, I feel, has
I
really
know.
thrown me for a loop.
Same,
Mhm.
bro.
Yeah, so they're bonded.
They are bonded, but just the how they broke down those scenes, the pace in which Rocco shared the information, Britt's reaction, because I was like, hug him," and then she hugged him at the very end, and then, telling and I love how they paralleled, Lulu saying that she's selfish to Britt saying, "I'll protect you, I'll do anything to make sure that you're okay, don't worry about me," because he wanted to protect her.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps all over again.
Look, I hate to say it, like, I understand life is hard for Lulu, but honestly, coma or not, she would've been sucky anyway. Like, she's not like, she's not
Oh, yeah,
growing.
okay, fair.
And, like, but I think they showed it in that moment, right? Where Brit, first of all, treats him like an equal. She doesn't
Yes.
treat him like a baby, and her kids are growing up, and they kinda need that. And again, I know the girl was in a coma, but that's a huge thing. The fact that her kids turn to other people because they feel the need to take care of her, and it can get
Yes.
exhausting to take care of Lulu's feelings, that they can't be their full selves. Look, being a parent is hard, and it means being able to hold really difficult crap. It means being able to tolerate being a punching bag at times and
Yes.
holding things. And Lulu can't hold a damn thing. She can't. But for Brit to say like I can, like must make him feel a bit lighter. Like you don't have to worry, truly. I've got this. And Lulu hasn't. She even told her mom. She's like,
Mhm.
honestly, and like her mom is like, Lulu, you have to know like when to back off and do it. She's like, honestly, I can't. And the only reason I can is because a criminal who's pretending to be my best friend's ex-husband is helping me. He's making me a better parent. Like
It's
that's the
just
only way
so
she can
crazy.
succeed. Isn't that
Yes,
insane?
it is insane.
Okay, so I posted something and I want to kind of say it here for
Yes,
anyone who hadn't seen it. So
'kay.
watching those scenes, I mean, we talked about this, that he's gonna have to talk to Brit. Like he's gonna have to talk to a real person, you know?
Yeah,
He's gonna have to
exactly.
talk to someone he actually trusts. And she's not wrong when she was trying to explain that to Cassius. He was so blind. He's like, I'm playing house. He has his mom and he has me. We're mom and dad. We can take care of whatever his name is. And she's like, but he trusts me and he needs me. And he is traumatized
Yes.
because he has told the most to Brit on an emotional level. He shared facts with
True,
Nathan. He
very
shared
true.
facts with Lulu. He didn't share how he felt. And I thought it was fascinating when he was talking to her about the whole trauma and that how at the first part of the thing, at the first part on the pier when Cullen came for her, that he was like, I felt really helpless. And we had talked about this, that watching
Yes.
those scenes, he was helpless. And it was really important that he walked out of that situation having done something. Because if he had walked out of that situation he would have been way more traumatized. He is traumatized, but I
Mhm.
love that they actually talked about that, the helplessness he felt and the fact that he did do something about it was important for Rocco, but it was just he got to say it out loud. That's scary to feel like because he didn't say that part to his mom, you know
No,
what I mean?
no.
Because they kinda landed on, "Well, you saved their lives." He's like, "Yeah, I did," but he's traumatized by the part where he couldn't do anything.
I absolutely love that, exactly that. He gets to be himself,
Yeah.
talk about all the things that he feels without being smothered and basically told how to feel, like, it's just such a huge difference, and just coming back to your post,
Mhm.
when you wrote that last line, I got goosebumps because it needs to happen when you're like, "Call me
Oh, no, no,
Ben." I
no,
just
no,
want
I'm gonna tell it, I'm gonna
what?
tell it, I'm gonna
What?
tell it, I'm
Okay,
gonna
okay,
tell it.
rewind. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm gonna tell it. But the part when you're talking about, the difference with, like, Rocco t with Brit, it's also, like, a shared experience, like, this is something he's
Yes,
recounting to
yes.
his mom, recounting to Nathan,
Yeah.
but together they can have a full picture, and she was able to comfort and soothe him, and they were able to process the details together, so that's also a strong bonding point. So, again,
Huge.
so the thing that I posted was the whole, like, we know that Lulu hates the Rocco's interest in Brit, but there is a
Mhm.
bond there. There just is.
Undeniable.
There's an ease and there's an understanding, even the hug. He felt
Yeah.
safe. You could tell he felt safe and comforted,
Mhm.
and that's not his experience that he has with his mom. So in the
Yeah.
post I was saying it would be really cool if in the future, because we have to think about, and you've brought this up, Rocco's troubles, the gray space, the choices he's made. Like
Mhm.
flashing into the future where something really dramatic happens, something pushes him to embrace his darker side. And then in that scene, I'm picturing it dark and picturing him even like putting like his hoodie on
Some
after he
fog.
says the line, but that
Yes.
there's somebody in this scene and goes to him, "Hey, what's your name?" And he pauses and then looks over and says, "Call me Ben."
No, like, still I get goosebumps.
But I really hope it's not because something happened to Brit, but it's just
No,
I
yes.
really hope, because like, look, oh my gosh, this is actually kind of crazy. So you have Jason's backstory, which we all know what it was. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
he's separated from the Quartermaines to Sunny, and then he found his way back home. And we talk about Danny, the Danny of it all. Wanting to feel. Look, I feel like he has a really good relationship with both of his parents, I do, and
Yes.
like I said, he's not a Lulu, but because of Rocco's experience so far, there's more of an understanding of a world that Danny can't fully understand even though he's been close to it or
Yes,
knows of it,
exactly.
and so when I think about how Jason found family in other people, like, you know how horrible that is? Because like, what if Rocco doesn't lose his memory but just happens to bond with Brit, bond with Obrecht.
Yes.
What if he feels, like you have like a Nina and a Willow who refuse to acknowledge their darker sides. But remember, Rocco is also Sunny's grandson. So,
Absolutely.
what if he is more like has more self knowledge? Like, what if this is a character who understands that he has a side of himself that his parents can't understand and treat that side like a mistake, like a screw up? Like, what
Mm.
if when he's with Obrecht and Brit, he doesn't feel like a screw up, but they make him feel understood and they validate that we all have a darker side,
Ooh, I'm loving this.
So, like, what if there is that shift? And I think it would be really interesting and fascinating. And then you watch Dante again, below and above, above being Sunny, living this darker life, below being Rocco. And what if this is the chance to kind of lean into the gray? Like, Dante has tried to lean into the gray,
Mhm.
but we've talked about it. Being who he is, being a cop, having the values he has, I guess, or just being rigid in a way, which came out in the scenes between him and Lulu, where he accused her of being him because she was being rigid about
Right?
Rocco and Danny. Like, she didn't even make explanations that made sense.
Nothing
No,
made sense, it was terrible.
and they were so horrible. Danny lost everything. Like, his mother
Yeah.
died for you, and you're like, I think we should just cut Danny off.
Take a step back, you
Yeah,
know?
that's how I'm gonna hide this secret. That's how I'm gonna handle it. And so I think it would be really like how crazy would that be for Dante that he finds that he's experiencing the struggle he had with his father, with his son? Can he handle that? Can he be forced to be more into the gray in a way that he couldn't really do for his father, but it's very different when it's your child?
So different. Oh my goodness. They got a road ahead of them. I'm excited for it.
I am very excited for Rocco's road ahead. Like, the way things are moving for his character are just so unbelievable, and it's setting up so much story. And I just can't tell you how much I would love the idea of him becoming Ben again.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I love it. Oh my gosh. Did we talk about all the things and cover all the stuff? Question mark.
You wish. You wish. No, we got like, first of all, happy Obrecht's back.
So happy she's back and a drink with Felicia. I love like how all these relationships have turned around. I love how close Obrecht is with Anna, but I'm really sad to hear that things are getting worse.
Yeah. I mean, it's fictional worse, but it's worse. So thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Um,
Aw.
so Jocelyn runs up to her. The only thing I'm wondering there is this
Mhm.
something Obrecht thought of before Jocelyn?
Oh, about the fact that somebody's
Hmm.
impersonating? I feel like
Well,
yes.
yeah, like that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering how far Obrecht got in her thought process about Nathan just generally, because she had an expectation of how he were to behave. So I am curious about that. But again, it's just going to be more Joss being annoying to Obrecht. But I'm curious to see how she'll handle how that exchange will go.
So I had a thought about Oprah because we kind of toyed around with the idea of like, how did she not know that she had twin babies?
Right.
Right. Okay. So a thought popped into my head this week. I'm like, what if somebody told her that this baby died and then Faison
Oh,
took him?
okay, that actually makes sense.
Okay. Thank you. I was really
That
proud of
makes
myself.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's what that conversation is gonna be, where that ignites that memory in Obrecht,
Right.
and they're gonna make it make sense.
Okay. Good. 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 Good.
Look, I didn't think there would ever be a world where I would switch from a Jordan to a Porsche. Didn't think it was possible. Didn't think it was possible.
It was really hard to watch this week. I'm not gonna lie, like, I understand a lot of characters are allowed to change, evolve, big traumatic things happen, but I did not like this.
No, like, she lost a kidney before, you know what I
Right?
mean? And, like, she's, like, hurting, and then she, like, hugs Curtis, I'm like, I thought more than her face got hurt. Like, I thought she was gravely injured. Like, how is she
So
hugging him
did
this
I.
way? Like, I just didn't know what to think, and I think Portia handled it well. It is hard to see
Yes.
Jordan like this because she's been Jordan for years. She's been strong and confident. So, I mean, that was the part I liked, where she was able to talk about that part of her.
Absolutely.
Where
I
she
did
like,
like that.
I like that. She said that felt true to her character. She's like, I know how to convey confidence. I know how to do that. I'm like, oh, so you know you're good. I'm like, I knew you were good. So I love that. I'm really sorry for the road ahead. I mean, technically, Curtis is a person who can very much understand what she's going through.
Yes.
Um, but the one thing I do wonder, is Curtis qualified to say man to man in a conversation with another man who acts like a man? Is that, can you?
I don't think he can.
Ew. So it's like literally Jordan said, he didn't do anything to me. I lashed
Yes.
out. And then he's like,
Yes.
okay. Okay, I just heard the part I needed to hear, so I can use him as my punching bag. And I love it because Isaiah just calls him out on everything. He's like, "You're using me as a punching bag, and that's not fair." Is this what Jordan wanted? You know, Jordan's a separate person from you, right? You know that she was once mine. And that's why I'm confused, because when he had the conversation with Lucas, Lucas didn't know that he once had a thing with Jordan. And now it's making me wonder, does Portia and Curtis know?
Wait, you think they don't know?
I don't know. I assumed it was common knowledge because it was in my knowledge. But then when Lucas and him had that conversation, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's true. They kept it like on the DL for a little while because she had started working for Sidwell. But then I'm thinking, wait a
Right.
second, how much of a secret is this?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Now I'm, like, doubting everything.
So now I actually don't know if Curtis knows about Jordan and Isaiah.
Hot damn, is that gonna get wild.
And then, like, I just couldn't with Curtis being shocked when Isaiah spoke, pointing out that, like, Jordan was, like, a separate person and not property to be managed.
Oh, I
He's
can't
like,
wait for them
"Like
to
I
break
said,"
up.
and I loved it. I love Isaiah doesn't let up. He's like, "You're making this about you. This is all about you." And I'm like, "Thank you." He's such a good lover. Like, to be honest, like, he is an excellent mistress. He pointed out all
Exactly.
the reasons why he was cheated on and deserved it.
So good, so good.
So that was insane, right? And, like, that's the thing. Cassius, not a real detective, finds
No.
paint, and I'm like, "No one asked you to find paint. Like,
Thank you very
what is
much.
wrong with you? Do you not have enough on your plate?" And then he tells Dante about the paint, and I'm like, "Wait a second. You guys found paint, and you think that's sufficient to call, like, a victim of an accident to be like, 'We found paint'?"
Right? Like, it's really messed up. We want them arrested. Like, what if they didn't know what was going on? They didn't know that somebody like, it's like, let's turn around on a highway in the times that we live in now and help a stranger. No.
And Dante said as much to Justine. They're like, "But the thing is, they weaved into their lane. Like,
Yes.
Jordan is the one who caused the accident, and if they swerved and righted themselves and they didn't hear anything or see anything, why would they have stopped?
Exactly.
And if someone's weaving into your lane, why would you wanna check on those people? Like, what if they're not right
Well,
in the mind?
precisely, precisely.
And I don't know if anyone's even thinking of that, but all they did was tell Curtis, like, And that's Curtis's whole thing. He's like, "They just left us for dead." I'm like, "No, they
No.
just didn't stop." And he's like, "Everything could have been better." I'm like, "No, because the injuries happened because of the accident. Like, her face happened because of the initial crash. The only thing that happened after that was scary that you keep saying nobody stopped, but guess what? Valentin showed up.
Yes, exactly.
Someone did show up and you got her away. So the only thing that happened was that if the person had showed up earlier, she could have maybe gotten out of the car faster, but who knows? If the person had stopped, they could have called 911 and then you would have just waited. Maybe you wouldn't have noticed the spark. Maybe they wouldn't have gotten there
Exactly.
on time. So that's what I mean. Like it's such a stretch and looking for someone to blame when Jordan's right there to blame. Like just
That's
saying.
too hard.
Yeah. So black paint, German car, Isaiah has
Gotta
an SUV, and I'm like, "Okay, all right, whatever. Like, run with it, Curtis. Like, just run with it." But it was a black car, any black car, and apparently it was German paint.
like we wanted to see kind of the demise of the relationship of Curtis and Jordan and what that kind of looks like. So we're
Yeah,
already
they're
seeing
headed
like these
there. Yeah.
exactly. So we're seeing these bits and pieces, like Jordan's confidence, Curtis just like going out into the world trying to be Curtis, and it's not going very well.
The thing is, like, I think it's so ridiculous. I'm like, "Look at Curtis. Ugh, of course he's gonna point to Isaiah. How do you even know what car he drives?" But at the same
Right?
time, I had already said in the podcast, of course I think it was Isaiah. But I think it's stupid that Curtis thinks that it's Isaiah. It makes no
Exactly.
sense for him to
No
think it was
sense.
Isaiah. It's like a needle in a haystack to be like, "Oh my gosh, the guy I hate who's sleeping with my ex-wife and could have been her baby daddy, like,
Mhm.
it has to be him." Like, that's Delulu. But it's okay when I say it because I saw everything. I actually know he was on the road. So it makes no sense for him to go there. He
Exactly.
just wants to go there, even though he could be right. Oh my gosh.
But it's like so many people got into an accident. There was like Charlotte's car, there's Brooklyn's
They don't
car, there's
care.
like oh, no, they don't care.
Nobody cares. Like, Danny and Charlotte are fine. They've got bigger problems and they had nothing to say. They're like, "What other cars? I don't understand." It's called a joyride. We were having a good time.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
Can we just highlight a really significant moment between Rick and Alexis and their
Yes, of
future
course.
pairing?
Okay, tell me.
Look, I think we've talked about this. I think Rick and Alexis would be amazing together. And I
I
think they were
agree.
setting their foundation, right? Like Alexis told Rick this whole story. And then they had that moment, right?
Yes.
Where she told Rick what he's doing, like the self sabotage.
Yes.
Like, to me, like, the whole not like, you don't think you're good enough, and this is what you're doing, this is what it's really about. Like, being able to have that real conversation, like, how many times have you seen him with Elizabeth lately?
So true. And the thing is, Alexis knows everything. Rick can't be all the parts of himself, nor do things without Elizabeth judging him or separating their lives.
Exactly. So just having that deep conversation to me is the foundation because they will be a meaningful pair, and it'll be even more meaningful for everybody who's known their history. And like you said, this is someone they can be their full selves with. And she says something to him. She says, "Ethan is more trustworthy than you." But to be honest, like, what if this is the one time Rick is right?
Oh, he's totally gonna be right, but you also bring up a good point about the foundation thing because there was a little nugget with Christina and Sunny where she made mention that, like, "You don't know all the things that Rick did to us," or something like that. But
Mhm.
again, it's like he's righting all his wrongs, like, they're gonna come
Yes.
back together, right? They're gonna make it right. He's come so far one way, but he's flipping. Slowly but surely, he's going through all his relationships and making everything better, and Alexis is a huge part of that.
But he has been doing that, and I thought everything was fine with him and Alexis after they worked together, then randomly, she has all this animosity. Christina was all about making peace, but then she's feeling this type of way about Rick, and I'm like, "But what about what you did?" Like, you're
Right?
talking about
Thank
what he did
you.
to you, but, like, you caused an accident. You were trying to kill Ava, like, your sister's
Right?
mom,
My goodness.
you know? And then you kidnapped your dad's brother, and he seems pretty fond of his brother for, like, a month.
Poor child's time is weird, right?
That was too much for me. Like, I'm just saying, like, they all went through that whole thing, and the whole deal was let it go. So how could you possibly hold on to his wrongs without holding on to yours?
Exactly, because it's Christina, and every time they give her a little bit of growth, they have to remind us of who she can be
I
at
don't
times.
like that. Like, I don't like that.
I don't like it either. So we're gonna get into some lightning round. There's only one subject I think you're gonna elaborate on, but we're gonna keep it tight.
Okay, what is it? What is it? Oh.
Valentine and Carly. So before you get into
Mhm,
it,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
I'm going to make a little nod to last week when Lucas and Carly had dinner together. That was an amazing scene. I'm going to give it a
Yeah,
last week star because
a
he
last week.
really he really got some things out of Carly and
Mhm.
pointed out some really great things that we've talked about. How Carly has never been in a relationship like this. The dynamic with her and Valentine and the full acceptance
Yeah.
and the love and respect and just this undeniable possibility for a future, and she laid it all out in bits and pieces, and then Lucas brought it home.
But she said, "I've never felt this way before, not even with Sunny."
Yes!
Right?
Yes!
And that's the thing, this
Mm,
is one of those times where they're showing us, not telling us, and by the time they told us, we're like, "Yeah, we're right there with
yeah,
you. We
we
know
know,
since you showed it to us and we already know." So
but we
that's
couldn't wait for you to say it.
yeah, it was just so well done because by the time they're saying it, you're making us feel validated, so you're just making us feel right.
Exactly.
So that's well done. What I will say about that was she took away his wine, and I was
Yeah,
like, "What's wrong with you?" I would have suggested attic wine. Like, you can't drink wine out in the kitchen, but what is stopping you from walking upstairs with him and having wine in the attic?
because it would cross that line. She's trying so hard to stay in this, like, logical space and not give in to her feelings, but she's flirty with him, and she's drinking from his cup and showing that familiarity and giving him a
Yeah.
gift and is jealous that he went to go see Nina. Like, I love all these little tiny nuggets that they're giving us
Oh, yeah, so much jealousy.
so much.
So much jealousy.
I have a logistics corner for you.
Okay.
Did you know
Mhm.
that Molly's old apartment is in New York?
When I saw that, I was like, "You're
I can only picture your
joking.
face.
You're joking." I was like, I could not with that. I'm like, "You didn't even change it." I'm like, I honestly wanted to post them happy and post a picture of TJ on one side of the door and Molly on the other side of the
Yes!
door just broke
Yes.
down crying. I'm like, "Do you have any idea how much trauma happened in that place? Awkward family brunches?" Like, no. That I found funny because I'm like, these 2 are just there. It's kinda like Cody and Molly. It's like you're happening in your background, and that's fine. But Gio and Emma, like, they're like I'm like, "Okay, they're talking about Broadway. That's great." Not in a million years did I think that they were actually gonna get to go, and I'm like, "You're so lucky. They picked you guys for a whole commercial about the Broadway play, like, all of it. Like, they went to New York. I thought that that was so amazing, and I'm like, "I like them better this way. In New York, far away, just doing their own
Okay.
thing."
No, it was really cool. Like, I even when he said at the cafe, I'm like, "Okay, are they really gonna show us this?" And I try to avoid the internet sometimes just so that I don't get spoilers when it comes to GH. So, yeah, it was really exciting for them to be behind the scenes and to meet the, actors. It was really, really well done because 'cause I'm like, "How is this all gonna come together?" And it felt, like, really seamless. It was almost like a spinoff within the soap
Yeah.
during this week.
So speaking of doing it, so we've we've talked about this, that again, one of those things that I felt like, "Are you talking to me?" Because I had said in the podcast, like, every time they're together, I'm like, "That's her grandma's house." Like, you're doing it in her and I can't get
Yep.
past that. And then in this episode, they're literally showing us how full they are. And if you're normal and you're full, then you're not doing it.
No.
And then they're like, "Oh, we can't do it on a friend's couch." I'm like, "But you can do it at your
Dying.
grandma's house?"
Dying.
In
Exactly.
your grandma's
Literally
guest bed?
her
Really?
goodness.
So I really felt that was pointed. That was very pointed.
Yeah, that was for you. That
Yeah,
was
I
for
will
you.
say it was cute when Emma, like, reacted to when he told her the place was haunted.
I know, that was so cute.
I have a thought about Ethan, though. What if he's not after Sunny, but he has to align with Sunny to go after Jen's?
Okay, I would like that.
So that's what I'm thinking, maybe, like, it was like a misdirect in a way. And also, what's up with Ava soothing Sidwell
I cannot
regarding
with
Ethan
her.
after you guys instigated the whole interaction?
I know, I know.
I
Like,
can't with those two.
I miss Ava as I miss Jordan, like, I can't.
Yeah. But I love when Tracy said, like, "You're making me miss Lucy."
Mm. So bad.
That was so
Tracy had
good.
another really great line, when she saw Ethan, he's like, "Hug?" She's like, "No hug with all these valuables on."
I know, they were so cute together.
So cute. Okay, who are you giving stars to this week?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't want to, but I'll give stars to Willow, but I really feel like Drew deserves them more. Like, he's been SOSing
Yes,
all
of
over the
course he
place, and it
does.
finally landed.
Yeah, no, that was amazing.
Gold
Who
star to Rick,
else?
gold star to Rick, gold star to Ethan's
Yes.
return, Christina
Yes.
and Ethan's scenes. The brief scenes in Alexis and Sunny was cute, where Sunny had to reveal, "I just didn't wanna fight with you. I didn't
I
wanna be
know,
at the" but they
hilarious.
did come up with a really good strategy for Danny, which was to use Scout against him to keep him in line.
I love that. They came to a compromise. I'm also
Th
gonna give
well
a star.
well, that's just a productive star. I'm gonna introduce a new star. That was a productive a productive star, productive scene.
I'm gonna give a star to Molly and Cody because I love that they're digging into this whole endometriosis storyline and just how she's dealt with life and all of that stuff. So I'm loving them. They're so cute and they had a happy night.
But if I were Molly,
Mhm.
after wait, because the thing is he was so, like, "Oh, but it's gonna hurt," and I get his valid point, like, "If you're not gonna be honest, then how am I supposed to do this? Because I can't trust that you're gonna tell me when it hurts." But she said that
Yes,
she would, so can you just listen? And then
I
toward the
know.
end, when everything was fine and they had done it, if I were Molly, I would have been like, "Ow!" Just to mess with him. Be like,
Ex
"JK."
I love it. Star, we got, a new set. Apparently, the hospital has, like, a little patio that looks a little bit like the Metro Court patio.
I know, it's like the chic part of the hotel. These are for people who really wanna have a good time.
And, of course, a huge, huge multiple stars to Brit on her own
Oh,
and the Brit Rocco
yes.
scenes.
Brit and Rocco
Um,
for sure.
which leads me to the perfect question. What is your cutie pie moment of
Oh,
the week?
no, that's hard because I was gonna say Gio and Emma and all of their, like,
No.
Broadway adventure, and I liked it when Emma said, "You are the adventure."
Oh, yeah,
But
that's
it's,
cute.
Brit and Rocco for sure. Ugh, obviously.
It is them, but I do agree with you that Gio and Emma are, like, close runner-up,
I might
but,
have to do a tie, like, I might have to just do
oh,
both.
I'm okay with that, I'll
Yeah.
approve.
Yeah.
And can you remind us or let everybody know what your handle is?
Yes, it's at Cutie Pie Coloring on Instagram if you wanna check out the pages. It's available on Amazon. You just have to look up Cutie Pie Coloring. The link is on our Instagram page.
Oh my gosh, folks, we did all the things. We talked about all the stuff. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.